The reason you are broke is because of your lack of options. If people have told you to take your money, save it up, and you can invest it in properties, would you? Would you invest it in properties? If it's there. The majority of us don't do that. But why? You're poor because of your options. Where other people can afford to make mistakes, you can't. Are you kidding? This is my evening. This is like 7 o'clock at night for Sino. Anybody know Sino will tell you this is like 7 p.m. for him. But no one's being taught the financial path. Nobody is saying this is the way you need to go to get this money. No one is saying this is what you reading these financial books. Why aren't you taking these certain steps? Well, this week on the Patreon, that's what we're going to do. We're going to give you guys some more directions and steps. And they blew it. A lot of people got passive income, but a lot of other people have taken money that they got from PPP loans. They don't realize that those PPP loans, you could have actually rolled that and made some money off of it. If you had invested it and held it in a bank, but you wanted to go shopping. You didn't even use it for your own business. Screwing up. And what's the other dynamic? The other dynamic is you're not trying to do what you need to do to get out of the financial jam. There was ways you could have used that PPP loan to open up other ways for you, because that stuff that you were doing, the money they was giving you, it was like tax-free. It was easy. I can go out and go to the casino and gamble money because I make enough to where I know I can go gamble, and I can, what I say is, this is how much I'm gonna lose, or I can afford to lose walking in. So it's not like I'm finna go way past that number and I'm just gonna lose it. I can afford to lose more, but I'm saying this is the much I'm willing to lose tonight. I'm not willing to go past this number. Not that I can't afford it, this is where I put governors on myself. But I can afford to do that. So after my taxes, after I get through filing my taxes and doing all my deductions and everything else, after this is done and I'm through paying the taxes that I owe, now it's time to invest. This is why you invest after taxes. Use the money wisely. so that it works for you and not against you. This is why it used to didn't matter, but this is how rich people stay rich. They boost their credit score up early. And once their credit score is boosted up early, what they actually do is, now that your credit is boosted up early, most of us as blacks, we sabotage our credit immediately before we even know we have it. Some parents even put like phone bills in their kids' names before they can even crawl and ruin their kids' life. That should be illegal. We have to stop doing that. We have to get in the game and do it right. Build your credit score up. Once you got a 600-700 credit score, you should be able to get a loan, a great loan. But see, they don't want you to do that. Because the banks now are discriminating on person, color. Cool. They have so many digital banks that you never gotta walk in. They looking at you, your persons, what you got going on in your life, and that credit score. And they say, okay, years of credit. This is here. You build that credit score up to 700 plus, you're able to get the right kind of loans. So you can get money without even having to walk through a bank. You can get it digitally. They have so many digital banks now where you can get a loan over the internet. You never even have to talk to anybody. Now, take that loan invest in properties. This is all while you're staying at your mom's house. Mom's house is not supposed to be a permanent residence. What you want to invest in is 2 pieces of property to get started. But here's the thing. They're going to give you money up front when you get the properties. What you want to do is work with a realtor who will have people that are looking for properties or renting spaces. Signing 2 years, 3-year lease, 4-year lease as a rental. Now, how you want to vet these people? Spot on. Because when you get at the place, you got to pay the mortgages, the taxes, and everything on these places. You know, you got to pay the bank for these properties. So that's where your money should be going while you staying at mom's and dad's and getting people in those facilities right away. So you should already have the people that want to move in. Yeah, so now that if you have it takes, sometimes you have one couple that's ready to move in, but they have to qualify. You don't want to put somebody in there that don't really qualify, because then you're going to deal with problems of late rent. My car broke down, so my check is late this week. This is why you have to deal with, normally Me, I dealt with a bank who had people that were trying to get homes and looking for a place to stay. And they were good people. They credit job history. They worked at their job 20, 30 some years. So you know they're looking for a place to move into. A place to get, and they want to get the place and all this stuff. So you say, hey, rent this townhouse for 4 or 5 years and see if you're going in there or whatever and want a place or a crib. So you want to look at people that got families. You don't want to get some young people moving in. What you're going to do is need to hire a manager. Unless you're a handyman and you want to be there all the time, keep running back to the property. I don't have that kind of time. Hire a manager who manages the property. You always want 2 properties. One, some people like to live in one and then rent out the other. You could do it that way. If you're staying at home, live at home as much as you can and get this done. You want to get 2 pieces of property. Okay? 2 separate pieces. Normally a 2-bedroom condo over here, 2-bedroom condo over here, 3-bedroom. I would rather do the 2-bedroom. It's less maintenance. So you can get a small family in quick than putting them in a 3-bedroom, and all kind of stuff go wrong with that. So you got 1 bathroom, 1 kitchen, 2 bedrooms on one building, and in the other building, the same process. I'll tell you how we did it. Now, of course, Countrywide Bank is who normally would finance the loans that we had at the time. And Countrywide would just approve anything. Like we had such a rapport with Countrywide Bank. If we just presented them, they just accepted it. They didn't even really check. So if it came from us, we didn't have to really vet it or nothing. They just came by, took it, gave the stamp of approval, and people was in the place, whether they could afford it or not. Now, here's the problem with everything that was going down. If you were doing this, this is how you would do it. You would have to find the people that are looking for places to rent and say, hey, you don't qualify for this house, but you can rent this house. You got a family, you got a long tenure job, you pay your bills, okay? Rent this place here, this condo. I know this is what you're looking for. You can rent it. And we'll reevaluate you in 5, 10 years. Now you got people living there already. And they looking to start a home and a family and move in. Now you hire a manager, somebody that's like a handyman. His job, any problems, it goes through the management. It goes through the management. If it's major, then they got to call you. And then you got to figure out how to deal with it. Now, meanwhile, you got your loans to get to places. You're collecting the money on the rent every month. So you're paying the taxes and everything on the building, but you're collecting your rent. So now you're collecting the rent from 2 places. You got both places filled up. You're staying at home. You're paying the management. You're keeping the bills low and your costs low. You're letting all the money build up for you collecting rent. Then you can go move and get your own place if you want. And you don't have to pay rent. All the rent and everything that's being paid from your 2 buildings are going to be paid off by the tenants. And then look at what you're doing. You're paying your own bills already. Me, I would still live at home. I would live at home as long as I could to stack my money up. It's best to have an LLC. The LLC costs you about $300. It's really easy to get and really easy to apply for. But you need to talk and learn about different types of LLCs. There's many types out there, and you want to make sure you're in the right one, because it's great for tax write-offs, it's good for benefits to your company or brand, and then you can have different entities attached to it. Talking about, you talking about the initial filing. I'm talking about like all of it together and who you filing with, what type of thing you're getting set up. But it's like $300 when you get everything done the right way. I had mine set up the right way. Who didn't see the Atlanta Hawks beating the Charlotte Hornets? I told you, Charlotte is a little too overzealous. They're young, they're inexperienced, raw talent, but they're not experienced enough. The Clippers might, but it looks like the Grizzlies might play the Timberwolves, and that'll be a great series. No, what you want to do is build, that's what I said, build yourself up, get a small business loan. We're gonna go into this on the Patreon, because I think my Patreons need to hear this. So we definitely gonna do that over there. But New Chris had brought that up yesterday about doing that, and that is a good way to do it. You gotta, this is if you have a high credit score already and you staying at home. Now, if you messed up your credit score, you got to try to boost it up. Stay at home. It's hard to do this when you already got a place. It could be done, but it's just more, if you got the revenue to loosen up for that. And this is where a wife comes in at. Like, if your wife is business and she's on the ball, that's when it's good to have that wife on your side, because she knows what needs to be done. Yeah, so we're going to kick it off on the Patreon. I'm going to do that in about like 10 minutes. We're going to go on the Patreon. We're going to talk some business, because then we can get into numbers and details. You have to understand, some of the stuff you can get loans for and almost never have to pay it back. I'm serious. In certain instances, it's a lot of red tape, but you don't want to go down that road though. You get people that go in and try to scam, and what they do is they take advantage of all of the perks that's there. And they make it harder for people that's out here actually doing the work. Now, tomorrow, you might not see a lot of me. You might see the videos, because I got like videos stacked up like a DVD shelf. I got the Errol Spence Ugas video I did from the boxing show. I got videos stacked and ready to go. But tomorrow I'm going to be doing business all day long. So you might not get to see me. You know, April 15th, tax time. It's like, hey, let's get this done. Oh, flipping houses. Flipping houses is a good business if you, like I said, you got to know what you're doing. It's taking the profits that you make off one flip, and using that and buying another property as soon as the money hit. Don't even look at the money as, man, look, I made all this money off a flip. No, you can use that to buy another property. That's what you do. And as soon as you get that one, that money come in, you buy another one. Now, much as I can't stand Ohio is a gold spot and a gold mine for moving in people right away. I told you guys about HUD homes a long time ago and how you could buy lots and properties. You just got to hold it for a year. If you can afford to hold it for a year or so, then you can start flipping that and making some real money off of it. Can you afford to hold it for a year? Thoughts on Asian people? Nothing really. Smart. They have a foundation. See, it's no secret as to why Asians and Indians and Hispanics, why they have more success. They're together. They know more about their foundation of history than we do. Their foundation goes back to their beginnings and all of they have their books, their curriculum is not sabotaged as far as their education and learning. Math is taught very early on. They're learning like 2-3 different languages. They don't play around. Well, their business acumen and their approach, because their attitude of thinking is not, I want to be working for somebody. Their whole thing is developing, processing, and trying to be productive people. They will ride miles and miles on bikes just to provide for their family, because that's what it's for. They're not thinking self. They're thinking for the next person in the family. Us, we've been ideal with thinking, I got to get mine. Me, that's what's important. Not the family. Me. Me. All this individuality is with us. Why? Because we don't have a connection with our history. Our history is cut off right after slavery. It's like cut off slavery, the United States, that's it. Well, we know we come from Africa, we don't know nothing about it. We just gotta believe most of the stories that's out there. Our history been cut off. So if you cut off from your history, your religion, your culture, your God, you're easily to be controlled. So you've been colonized. So it's not really your fault. Your conditions got you where you are right now today. But what are you going to do about it? Are you going to complain about it? Or are you going to wallow in it? Or are you going to say, okay, we got to try to break the chain. Somebody got to break this chain and get in the game. No, they don't treat you like you make 100 grand a year. People that make 100 grand a year, that's still in today's time really ain't really a lot of money. Because if you make 100 grand a year, you're living somewhere where the prices are way up higher. So you spending more money. You ain't making 100,000 a year living in the hood. You live in, it's like the Monopoly board. Well, you live at Baltic Ave and all that property over there, that costs a lot of money. Nope, it don't. It's cheap. Cheap to buy, but you can make a lot of your money right there on that side. Baltic Ave, Oriental, that whole little side, that's the hood, and all the other places, Oriental, Vermont, you'll make a lot of your money there. A lot of people hit that as soon as they co-pass go. And you'll make a lot of your money there. But on the other side, you got the middle class. St. James Place, Tennessee, New York Avenue. That's the middle class. Then you got the upper middle class. The Illinois Avenue, all the way to Vermont, over there. That's your two-income family making about $100,000 a year. Combined income. Then on the other side, where you got Pennsylvania Avenue, that's your really upper, that's where your doctors and your lawyers live. Your upper middle class. I mean, they ain't middle class, that's upper class. That's when they in the $600,000 and above homes, $700,000. And Park Place and luxury, that's, you know, that's where your celebrities and athletes, Boardwalk and all them, Park Place and Boardwalk, that's that area. So you got to understand, it's a monopoly board. It's all broken down as life. Everybody's in their sections. So if you make $100,000 a year, you're not going to live in the hood. You're going to move over there. You're going to move on up. Exactly. We don't put the individual efforts towards a common goal for the whole community. That is true. And that is because we are all being colonized to be individuals. They always take one out the hood, right? They make them the athlete, pay them the multi-millions of dollars, and say, you the one. And make them special while everybody around them is poor. That one breakthrough, that's the exception to the rule. The one that breaks through and becomes that doctor or lawyer, that's the exception to the rule. The rule is you're supposed to be an individual who goes out, get in trouble, put stress on the whole family till you get locked up doing 10 years back and forth. Mama got to put the house up for your bail so you can go ahead and do what you want to do. Got all these kids out here and you locked up, no father around. They end up joining you later on down the road, working some little bitty job, working for somebody else, no ownership of anything. But this is the cycle that they want to keep for you. This is the Ferris wheel they want to keep you on. What's up, Jonathan? Absolutely. And for Hispanics, it's the same thing. But Hispanics, they have a connection. They're uprooted from family because they come from places where it's real struggle. They remember the struggle. They know how hard it is, and they know together is how they're gonna ever achieve anything. So the husband and wife, they work together. The wife don't complain and bitter about why she gotta cook, why she gotta wash the clothes, why she has to do. She knows this is me taking care of my family. You know, my husband's out here working 2 jobs. I'm working 2 jobs. And the kids, they start taking care and chipping in at like 7, 8, 9, and 10. They got them at 10 years old babysitting, doing all kind of stuff, washing clothes. They helping mama cook. They doing all kind of stuff at 10 because they know they have to. And see, America fears that because they know their kids here have had it easy. They're lazy. They don't even have a summer job at 14. They can't compete. They can't compete against these kids. These kids will blow them out of the water. That's what they really afraid of. Because these kids, if they had to compete against them for a job, they would lose. Have you seen these teenagers today? These white teenagers today are so, they know nothing. Like nothing. It's like they've been coddled their whole life. Well, when you got people that's been coddled their whole life, hold on. All right, there we go. You have people that's been coddled their whole life. You know, what do they have to work for? Everything's been given to them. So they're not going to go out there and compete. Why would they want to? Yeah, Miami is a gumbo pot of Puerto Ricans, Cubans. You have a whole gumbo pot full of people there. And they're full of their culture. And they take it with them because that's what they come from. They know it. It's been taught to them. It's been given to them. So their whole mentality is different. That's why reggaeton is always the #1 music in Miami. Yeah, it's not, and a lot of people get it misunderstood. A lot of people think, oh, well, you white, you got it easy, you got it good. So a lot of white people don't have it good. They got to work too. This new age, I'm telling you, it's like, it doesn't care. Like some people, yeah, they had an advantage. You know, they knew people or family members, but somebody didn't give them everything just because they were white. They actually had to go out and work. Because these days, it's getting a lot smaller out here for these jobs. They don't even have jobs to give to those guys. I told you, the jobs are less and less. You go into a bank, it's like one teller there now. All of these empty spaces, you're like, why is there nobody here? Banks are shutting down. Strip malls, they're empty. Completely empty, void. And people are like, why is this the case? Because people are going to bank online. Everything's online now. All your jobs are moving online, which means there's less people going into the buildings. that means there's going to be less time to hire somebody for work. So the jobs are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And pretty soon, people are going to have to fend for jobs. And I told you, these guys out here, these suburbanites and all these, they're not geared to compete. They're not bred for war. So that's why it's always good to learn trades now while you can. Casino for Life Patreon.